Spending less and getting more is a no-brainer. That's why serious landlords choose Inago. Forget the myth that free software means weak features. Inago delivers everything. Tenant screening, lease signing, rent collection, and more. For free. No fees, no contracts, just a full-featured, reliable platform trusted by thousands of landlords. Plus, their top-rated support team is always ready to help. Ready to streamline your property management and save money? Visit inago.com today. That's inago.com/podcast.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Rentish podcast. My name is Zach, and I'm here with my co-host, Patrick.
What up?
We are your hosts for this real estate podcast, a podcast that's about rental properties and hosted by two guys that work in the real estate industry and sort of know what they're talking about.
But mostly don't.
That was good. You got the
I almost
catchphrase.
missed
It was
it.
like 0.5 second delay,
Yeah.
though. Your reflexes are on it today, man. I'm telling you. This is going to be a good one. Yeah, Patrick, mostly we don't, which is why you'll have fun hearing us talk to experts and learning with us or just laughing along at how little we know. We appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out with us on this episode of The Rentish. If you like the show, follow us everywhere that podcasts are served. Give us a rating on Spotify or, give that thing a star on Apple or whatever you do on those podcast platforms. Throw us a comment, like us on Facebook maybe. I don't know. Wherever you can see The Rentish, just throw us a little bit of praise. We appreciate that. Patrick and I, we need to be humbled.
Yeah.
Yeah, great interjection. Or a comment. How about that? A comment. Or send us an email if you have a topic suggestion that you'd like to send in or a question for our reader mail. You can always send it to questions@therentishpod.com.
Please.
Please.
We need questions.
Begging. How's your day going, Patrick? You doing good?
Yeah, I'm good. Earlier recording session than normal, so I
Yeah,
feel like,
yeah. It's early afternoon.
I've
I'm
got
not worn down by the weight of the world.
yeah, got my tea there that I finished. And now I've got this lime.
Your
sparkling-
caffeine-free soda
yeah,
water.
this is a byproduct of the health journey. It's really disappointing. I saw some Dr. Peppers in the fridge, and
You got tempted. Is soda your biggest sweet temptation?
Oh yeah, I'm not like a dessert person, so candy doesn't really interest me. But soda, I was at a point having at least one soda a day, and that's
Can
just
I
not-
interest you in this lovely Coke Zero,
I can't
zero
do it.
sugar, which has 0 calories, 0 fat, 2% of your daily sodium? You can't do it.
No, I just
You don't like diet soda?
the fake, the diet sugar. I would rather drink water than I would rather drink this sparkling lime flavored nothing than your Coke Zero.
All right, well, agree to disagree. We got a great show for you today. We're going to talk a lot about property management and real estate, and we're going to have fun doing it this week. Topical, kind of topical. I mean, the show ended a couple weeks ago, but
Yeah.
we're going to talk about the White Lotus.
I'm so excited.
And no, don't click away. You haven't stumbled upon an entertainment and pop culture podcast. You're still listening to The Rentish. But we're going to talk about the White Lotus and the Four Seasons Resort that the season 3 was based on, the HBO show. We're also going to do listener questions. So it's going to be a jam-packed episode filled with a lot of fun goodies, and I hope you all have a good time doing it. But Patrick, why don't you lead me off?
Yeah, so like Zach said, we are going to be talking about the Four Seasons Samui.
I'm going to say Kosamui.
Kasamui.
Kosamui.
Kasamui.
Kosamui?
Oh,
I'll get a pronunciation.
Yeah,
You keep going.
This would have been great to do beforehand. When I was reading this article, I kept getting sidetracked and was watching clips of White Lotus instead, and now I find myself very unprepared for the segment.
Yeah, so explain the segment really quickly.
Yeah, so this is Real Estate Real, a segment that we started not too long ago, and it's a joke because it's like Real Estate Real. Like REEL is the second reel. The first reel is like REAL. That's the whole joke. It's funny because of
and it keeps
spelling.
getting funnier.
Yes.
The longer we explain it, it keeps getting better.
It is a good yes. So in this segment, we dive into iconic properties from TV and film, exploring their real world locations that they're based on. So
yeah.
Today talking. Did you find out?
Kosamui.
Okay, I was pretty close.
Yeah, close. Very.
So we're heading to Thailand with the Four Seasons Koh Samui from season 3 of the White Lotus show. This is where it is filmed. So that's what we're talking about.
That's why we're talking about it. It's also just a luxurious property stunning vistas. I feel like a marketing rep for the Four Seasons.
Villas, infinity pools, signature lush jungle meets beach vibe.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely one of the most luxurious locations that we've talked about in this segment so far.
Definitely. But yeah, this is definitely like, you think like luxury vacation property, man. You go to this website and like check it out. It's like, it is exactly what you picture when you think like, where's a celebrity going on vacation?
Right.
It's this place. Do you want to give people, we're going to talk about White Lotus.
Yeah.
But do you want to give the people just a very surface level? What's your elevator pitch for the White Lotus in case someone out there just completely has missed what this show is, where what pop culture, where it is right now?
Yeah, so White Lotus is a terrific show, in my opinion, and it is about these wealthy individuals who go to these White Lotus resorts, and it's just kind of about their, I'm not going to say misadventures per se, because I think that is a bad pitch, but it's just like their situations that they get into, which oftentimes are not good for the characters. Each season opens with a death, and then that happens in the last episode of each season. So it's kind of like there's sort of a mystery at play. But yeah, I think it's kind of like a satire, a comedy. It's dark all at the same time. Great dialogue, great characters, and each season is self-contained, so it's like an anthology series. So there's not a ton of crossover season to season.
Okay, cool. My elevator just got out, so that was great. great pitch. Good job. Tell me about the property. Tell me about the actual resort.
So the resort is located in the northwest part of the island. I assume when they say the island, they're talking about Thailand.
I'm assuming that's what the article
That's the only island I know.
Have you been to Thailand?
I've never been to Thailand.
Is it on your list?
It is on my list. I love Thai food. I don't know a ton about Thailand besides the food, I guess. But I would love to go. It seems like a cool place.
Yeah.
Or is it on your list?
I think the nature aspects look really, really cool. Bangkok seems like a crazy, busy, populated city. But yeah, sure, I would say it's on my list. It's not high on my travel destinations. But I will say, watching the White Lotus season 3, it's like, man, it looks beautiful.
It looks beautiful, yeah, for sure.
Definitely looks relaxing.
Yeah, so in real life, the Four Seasons resort where the White Lotus fictional resort is filmed is perched on a private hillside with panoramic views of the Gulf of Thailand. The property blends luxury and local design. Think teak wood, thatched roofs, and outdoor rain showers surrounded by tropical forest.
Have you ever stayed at a Four Seasons?
I have not. Have you?
Neither have I. No,
I don't.
Too luxury for this guy. Our podcast doesn't make enough money yet.
Yeah,
so
I'm fine. I'll find a place that's called like the motel. It's like all you see on the side.
The motel.
Yeah, it's like $40 a night.
The motel. So if the room, I appreciate where they're saying like, oh, it's like, it's got local design, kind of that rustic like Thailand atmosphere.
Yeah.
If I wake up and there's a lizard in my room, no, thank you. I will
Really?
be no. Are you kidding me?
I love lizards.
Well, they're cool to look at from a distance, but I don't want one sleeping in the same dark room as me. What if it like tries to make a nest on my face while I'm sleeping? Terrifying.
I don't know. I'm all about lizards. I think
all about lizards.
I'm all about lizards. Bugs, I think, is where I would draw the line.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
situation
want
would be
bugs
pretty
in
rough.
my room. But lizards all day long.
Well, tell me a little bit more about the Four Seasons.
So some fun facts for you on the real estate here. So foreign ownership in Thailand. In the show, it's actually an American, I think, who owns the resort.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, in Thailand, interestingly enough, non-Thai citizens can't legally own land outright in Thailand, but they can own villas via long-term leases, often 30 years or so. So, yeah.
So it's likely that the people that own the White Lotus in the show, but like the Four Seasons itself, would just be a villa on a long-term lease, not necessarily
ownership.
Thai-owned.
Right, which I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that is cool.
The Koh Samui, right? Koh Samui?
Koh Samui.
Koh Samui.
Koh Samui.
It's actually part of Thailand's Golden Triangle for luxury real estate, alongside the Phuket and Bangkok. It's one of the most in-demand regions for high-end villa investment by foreigners.
Cool.
And then high-end resorts in Thailand are often hidden from main roads and signage to enhance the sense of exclusivity.
Yeah.
Something that also adds perceived value and mystique to the properties.
Yeah.
Which I think that in the show, it very much seemed like not in part of civilization. It just seemed like this resort right in the jungle. deal.
Yeah,
which I thought was really cool.
One of the coolest things, and I truly don't know if I'll ever live a life luxurious enough to arrive at my hotel via boat, where it's like they at the very beginning of the season they get off the boat and they like literally go up to the sand shore to get off their boat and walk up to the resort, where it's like, where's the driveway? It's like, if it's like all the hotels I have usually have free complimentary overnight parking, but it's like if you're going to the Koh Samui, you actually have to sail to your destination or whatever. But it does make it look like you're living on another planet.
Right.
Like you've arrived to this place of luxury. It doesn't feel like you're part of normal society anymore.
Right.
It's cool.
Right. I think that's part of the appeal.
And we'll talk about if that's worth the cost here in a moment.
Yeah, so the villas in White Lotus are actually the real deal. They're sprawling private residences with infinity pools, outdoor showers, and panoramic ocean views. The design blends indoor and outdoor living with contemporary Thai elegance. So some of those typical villa features are 1 to 5 bedrooms, private infinity pools, open air living and dining spaces, rainforest bathrooms.
What does that mean?
I don't know what that means.
I'm gonna that deserves a Google.
What, like plants and stuff in the bathroom?
Mix fog machines and
Oh, that looks sweet. Yeah, it's just like it's as though there's just like a bathtub and sink in a forest. Yeah, that's kind of a cool vibe.
Okay, that is cool. Do I need that in my bathroom? I don't know.
I do. I know.
You need that.
Yeah, I need that. I can't go to the bathroom without that now after seeing that. Compared to the luxury properties in the US or Europe, the villas in Thailand typically offer much larger land plots and square footage per dollar, making a hot spot for ROI driven buyers. And ROI, of course, means
return on investment.
Nice,
right?
Acronym deciphering. Yes,
I
return
got
on
it.
investment.
Nailed it. I when I said that, 42% confidence. Giving you the answer.
You killed it.
Thank you.
So let's talk the costs and affordability of
Patrick,
the
you talked infinity pools, rainforest cafe bathrooms. We've got luxury, life of luxury, boats and stuff. It's like, what am I going to be spending to stay at the Koh Samui?
Do you have a guess? I don't know if you saw the sheet.
I did see the sheet, so unfortunately I don't have a guess for you. But my original, it was a little bit higher than what I had anticipated.
Well,
that
so
I saw.
the rooms start at $1,200 to $1,800 US dollars per night, which like is expensive.
But for a luxury resort in like the most beautiful destination in Thailand, it's like I would have expected a little bit more.
Agreed. But the premium villas, which are those featured in the show, are more in the 4,000 to 8,000 plus range per night. So that seems to me to be a little bit more what I may have expected.
Okay. So I did good news, Patrick. Mm-hmm. They do have. I checked for us for this weekend. They have availability.
Okay.
This coming weekend, 1 room, 2 adults. All in pricing. We got the bed and breakfast option, which is a 1 king bed, 1 rollaway or crib with a serenity pool for $2,300 a night.
Oh, that's doable.
So a little over $1,500 a piece. Then you got to think about the tip,
flights,
food. Unless food's included. I don't know what the food situation would be at the. But let me go. I'm gonna go all the way up to
the Rentish pod take us there as part of a.
So on the high end. Let's say, Patrick, this episode does really well, ad revenues off the charts.
Yeah.
We want to get the Residence Escape this weekend. They have availability. 4 king beds, 15 adults with a private pool, and a personal residential assistant. So I'm guessing that this is like, what's the girl's name who takes their phones away?
Oh, what's her name? What's her name? Pam.
That's right. Yeah. So we get our own personal Pam. How much would you pay per night for?
How much would I pay?
For the Residence Escape?
I mean, I don't know that I would pay much more than a couple $100.
How much do you think we're paying? How much do you think we're paying?
I'm going to guess per person?
No, per all in per night cost.
$50,000.
$15,000.
Oh, per night. Okay.
Per night. Okay. Per night. $15,000 per night for the Residence Escape.
Wow. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money, but that is a 15 adult thing. So then you have to think about it. It's like
$1,000 per person.
Per night. So it's like legit. If you have like a big group, you could split this and it would be a luxury vacation, but it's not like completely out of the
Right.
question. Some people pay, comparable prices for like resorts in Hawaii or Florida or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's doable. I mean, like, and that's including the PAM. Like, you don't need the
That's
PAM.
including the PAM.
Right.
You get to the Thailand resort, it's like, I would like one PAM, please. Where's my PAM? All right, tell me a little bit more. You got more cost facts for me?
So, yeah, the similar villas in Koh Samui sell for between 2 to 8 million
Eek.
US dollars. Yeah, that's a lot of money for a villa.
It's a lot of money. They make a hell of an Airbnb, though. You invest $2 to $8 million to buy your own Thailand property and then just rent it out to people when you're not there.
Yeah, no.
Talk about an investment property. Talk about an ROI.
Nice use of the acronym.
Yeah.
But those in branded communities, resorts like the Four Seasons, a lot of them come in with built-in property management and hotel level services.
Gotcha.
So might be easier to run than some other rental property investments.
Right.
But yeah, as far as the rental yields, villas in Koh Samui's high-end market can generate 5 to 10% of their annual rental yields. So that's a good return. Not to keep using the term, that's a pretty good ROI.
Yeah. Something you got to think about here too is like we always talk about, consult property professionals and everything like that. Like you got if you're gonna run out there and decide like you loved White Lotus season 3 and you want to buy one of these Thailand properties or whatever, you got to think about damage protection and insurance in the event of a what?
A tsunami.
Yeah, there you go. I was trying to tee you up for a Parker Posey or whatever her name is.
Yeah, but actually, Thailand does not have property taxes. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
For personal use homes. So that's another thing. If you're going to invest in one of these resorts, you don't have to pay property taxes.
That's cool.
Yeah. Are you interested in investing? What is it? $2 to $8 million in a
to avoid paying property tax?
Yeah, right.
I got to tell you, it's a little steep for my wallet, but I appreciate the thought. I think it's cool.
So, of course, one of these subsections, whatever you call that, of this segment is, can the characters actually afford it? White Lotus characters range from influencers to CEOs to actors. Could they swing this kind of luxury? What do you think?
I mean, they purposefully make a point to really call like all of the people that go on this show. Like most of them either they come from money or they just are wealthy by their own accord or whatever. So I'm assuming that most of the characters in the show could afford it. It probably actually wouldn't hurt their bottom line all that much. Like,
Right, yeah.
I'm thinking like the family, right? The Smiths, what are they? The Parkers?
The Parkers, the Parker Posey. What's their Radcliffes?
The Ratcliffes,
yeah.
right. That's a wealthy guy isn't he the CEO?
Yeah.
So 4-night stay in a premium villa for
Let's say
$30,000. Yeah. Definitely the Ratcliffes. It's like, I can't think of a character on that show that couldn't swing that, really.
So we got the Radcliffes. We have, who are the other characters?
I don't know, dude. We'll talk about this when we talk about the show, but I can't remember any of these people's names. I got the girl with the teeth, Walton Goggins.
Walton Goggins, yeah. So we don't know as much about what they do. So if it was just like a young couple's retreat, they probably wouldn't be able to afford it. But the characters in the show, they are all pretty much filthy rich.
Walton Goggins, his profession is this and that.
Yeah, right.
That was a line I was like,
shady
like
shit.
that's a good line, Goggins. Yeah. And then Greg, he can afford that.
The 3 women, one of them's an actor.
The actor could definitely afford $30,000 is probably what a 16th of her salary on one project. So it's like. Yeah, not even a big deal.
I feel like it's
whatsoever.
not like some other shows like in Seinfeld where they have the unrealistic apartments for like a comedian, for example, or like in Friends. Like this is like the characters in here are written to be super rich. So
this man murdered my father, George. I'm trying to do a sign like Jerry, but he's Walton Goggins. Come on, you know what I mean? Or it's
he murdered my father.
Yeah,
that's bad.
What are you saying to me right now, Jerry? You saying that he murdered your father? Oh, what about owning a villa? Real quick, let's touch on that because I do still want to talk about the White Lotus itself.
Yeah, well, $2 million in liquid capital to own, right? None of these people really, besides Greg, I guess.
Greg definitely. Well, he owns a place. I think the Ratcliffes could probably they could do it.
They could own it, but if
they could do it. They are there for a week, but like CEO. What's the typical giant big business CEO making? It's like it's like multi-million-year salary.
Definitely could. Well, then there's the whole.
Spending less and getting more is a no-brainer. That's why serious landlords choose Inago. With features like tenant screening, lease signing, and rent collection, Inago gives you everything you need for free. No fees, no contracts, just powerful property management made simple. Visit inago.com/podcast to sign up.
That's INNAGO.com/podcast.
Fun fact about like non-Thai residents in Thailand can't own property.
Oh,
So
that's
I don't
a catch
know.
right there.
I don't know
So how did Greg get around that? Just a big
he's
lease?
a 30-year lease, I guess.
30-year lease.
Or just like, Mike White, the writer, is just like, we don't have, nobody knows that fun fact besides Zach and Patrick at the Rentish Pod.
Yeah, well, Mike White, if you want to come on the podcast and explain yourself, we'll have some talking to do.
All right, you want to talk about the show?
Yeah, I mean, like, we've touched on basically everything that we have fun fact related about the White Lotus, about the actual property. Somoe it's already forgotten. What is it?
Koh Samui.
Koh Samui, yes. And the Four Seasons. So if you want to go book your, property and check it out yourself, you can always go to fourseasons.com/Koh Samui and you can check that out.
Interestingly enough, after the trailer for White Lotus dropped, Google searches for the Four Seasons Koh Samui surged by 80%.
Wow.
Yeah, and obviously, like,
God, can you imagine being that hotel staff? Like, all these American tourists are like, I love the White Lotus, Piper, no. And they're saying that to, like, all the people at the desk, and these hotel workers are like, oh my God, this is awful. Damn you, Mike White. All right, do you want to talk about the show?
Yeah, let's do it.
So we're getting a little bit of leeway from our producers because Zach and Patrick, you guys know, we're movie fans, television fans, we're critics. We love all this stuff, right? Many of our conversations in the office turn into conversations about movies.
Yeah.
This is not an entertainment podcast. We talk about real estate, property management, but we have a little fun with it. But we're going to take a small slice of time right now to talk about this show itself. So hopefully you stick around for just a few minutes because I want to hear. Firstly, I want to get your take because you said something the other day in the office that really stuck with me, where you said it might be your favorite show that you've ever watched.
That is correct.
Okay, can you elaborate on that?
I'm not a huge show person. I'm a movie person.
Okay,
right. I with a lot of shows, there's several seasons of filler episodes. There's ruined arcs or arcs that go in directions that they shouldn't. There oftentimes isn't like a complete and tight story. These are some issues I have with shows in general. Right. I don't have this issue with White Lotus. Every season is 6 to 8 episodes. Everything is self-contained. There's a beginning, a middle, and end. I like finishing things in as one sitting if possible. As few sittings as possible, certainly. So, yeah, White Lotus scratches that itch for me. And I love just, like, well-written characters with well-written dialogue, these characters that have a lot of layers, who oftentimes aren't likable, aren't just stock characters with cliche sort of flanderized traits. I think White Lotus in all the seasons has done a really good job of providing unique characters who, for the most part, aren't super likable as people. I think that oftentimes makes for more interesting characters. I love the situations that come about. I love the show.
Okay. So you typically don't vibe with the TV format.
Yeah.
But White Lotus is drawing you in because you think it's got, like, you said you like the writing, complex characters.
The acting is all terrific. There's pretty much not a bad acted character on the show.
Okay. And it may or may not have gotten a little heated when I dropped my bomb that I am not digging the show at all. In fact, it's like becoming a chore for me to watch it.
Yeah.
And I don't have the strength to finish it. I'm on the second to last episode. I just finished it. I have no desire to finish it. I love the TV format when utilized effectively. There's plenty of shows out there that do the crap fillers or whatever, but I really like a good show that can, like, draw you in with a like likable protagonists.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is a big problem I have with the White Lotus is that it's a really well shot show. It might be the best looking show on TV right now. Like, just visually, the cinematography off the charts.
So good.
The acting is fantastic. My problem, I don't care about any of these people, and I don't want to. I really don't care about any of them. Like, finding any. I don't believe in them to find any empathy from me. I don't feel like myself rooting for these characters at all.
Right.
Like, they're all making terrible decisions. They're all super wealthy and not, like, really caring about any of the other people around them.
Right.
And I get, like, it's like, okay, if that was like a single season, that's your message, Mike White. You want to, like, say that message is that, like, oh, money is bad, or, like, people, like, do terrible things when they're put in a position of power. Cool. But now we're on 3 seasons of this, and I started watching season 3 because I was like, I want to be part of this conversation. I want to see what everyone else is saying about this show. And then I started watching it. I'm like, the thing I kept saying to myself was, I was like, this is the show that everyone's freaking out about right now. It just doesn't.
That's really upsetting.
Yeah, it just, I just don't see, like, I don't see what the big draw in it, other than like it's kind of like Below Deck with a bigger budget. So there's like a reality TV show called Below Deck where it's like it follows the crew of a yacht. And it's just all their drama while they're like working this yacht. So-and-so's in a relationship with this person, and then they cheated on them. And this person lied about eating the last donut on the thing. And that's this whole show. It's just all these trivial things that these people are having drama about.
You want a protagonist that you can actively root for.
Or someone that I can empathize with or sympathize with. Like, the only person in the show, really, that I think is kind of a pure heart is the Amy Lou Wood character, which I don't even know what her name is. Chelsea. That's her name in the show?
Yeah.
You're
clearly not paying as close attention to the show.
I don't care. It's like in one ear, I'm just watching this show so passively. I'm like, this is a beautiful looking vista and it's a really well shot scene, but I don't care about any of the characters. I just find it really hard to be engaged in a show if Godzilla came out of the water and destroyed this entire villa, would I care? No, I wouldn't. I'm like, once the show ends, I know what's going to happen. They're going to keep going on living their miserable lives. What did I learn from watching that?
Okay. I hear your opinion. I hear the words that you're saying. And thanks for sharing.
So you have nothing else you want to say about the show?
No, I mean, I don't think I'm going to convince you to like the show. So I hear your opinion. The words that you're saying have registered.
I hear your opinion, but I think you're full of shit. It's like, no, I get it. I totally understand that I'm in the minority of the show. I just, it's just not doing it for me, but I'm glad that other people are enjoying it.
No, yeah.
It's clearly an HBO caliber technical production.
Yeah.
Like, if you enjoy a good looking show, you're going to find that with the White Lotus. It'll tie it back to real estate. In many ways, this show is making me more intrigued about visiting Thailand or visiting the resort, more so than it does actually giving a crap about the story and where these characters go in life. But okay, well, that's it. Thanks for indulging us as we talked about the White Lotus show for just a minute. If you guys are enjoying the show and you have opinions, if you want to yell at me, feel free to email questions@therentishpodcast.com questions@therentishpod.com. We would love to get into that discourse with you.
Yeah. Roast Zach. Let him know.
Me?
Roast.
Yes.
Roast.
What is that?
Roast.
Yeah, no, roast me. I can take it.
He can
Trust me.
Trust me.
First to say it. I have some terrible takes on
he deserves
entertainment.
To be roasted
and
about this.
Yeah, I deserve to be roasted. So, okay, Patrick, what do you say we jump into the mailbag?
Oh, the listener. That sounds good. It took a second to register what the mailbag was.
Yeah, it's the reader mail.
Yeah.
We're going to jump into another round of listener-submitted real estate questions that were sent to questions@therentishpod.com. But as always, we are here to help, but remember to consult the pros before making any big moves. You want to jump in?
Let's do it. First question is from Nina B. from Miami, Florida. I really enjoy the news article segments, and I love how Patrick is never prepared. What are you talking about, Nina?
Yeah, I don't know. Nina seems off base here.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Patrick is the most prepared human I've
always prepared, Nina.
I've ever met. I was like, hey, did you read the White Lotus thing to get ready for the podcast? And he's like, oh. He just laughed at me.
I watched clips in preparation.
He said, I watched the White Lotus to prepare for the White Lotus.
Okay, Nina's question for us is, what do you typically look for in a rental property?
This is a good question.
I'm trying to get more creative with my listings, specifically the subject lines and descriptions. I want to get into the mindset of a renter instead of just posting basic photos and boring details. Any fresh ideas?
Honestly, a big part of whenever I look for a place to rent, it always is a walkability and location kind of thing. I live in Cincinnati. I like being part of neighborhoods where I'm able to kind of like go out my front door and be in a neighborhood that's like walkable. There's things to do, like the nature, the park, and a lot of that stuff is stuff that you can't change as a property or owner or homeowner. Like, your house is where your house is. I guess my suggestion would just be like, if you're looking to purchase an investment property, I think a very enticing thing to me as a renter is where the property is located. Yeah. Less so about the amenities inside, because I can furnish an apartment. I will always want to buy my own couch and my own TV and my own lamp, and making sure that the place fits my vibe. Where the place is, where I'm located next to. Like, my current house that I'm renting is a 5-minute walk to a really nice park. It's a 10-minute walk to a library. It's about a 12-minute walk to the first like bar or restaurant that I can start walking around to, or 10 minutes the opposite direction. It's a walk to like a nature preserve. So it's like, to me, that was the most enticing thing about renting that place, was where it was located.
And so if I'm understanding you properly, if you have like a property that has these sort of walkability or maybe like location specific things for that property, maybe putting those high up in the description or the subject would be attractive to you.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm going to be honest, like a good first photo is really important for me. Like I personally, when I look for properties, I don't look at the subject lines and descriptions first. I look at the photos first and then the descriptions and like the actual words. So I think like really prioritizing high quality photos that make your property look good would be
first impressions are important. Don't just take it with your cell phone doing like this or whatever. Take a Snapchat photo of your house as you're listening. Get a good professional photo. A lot of the good places that I've seen on Zillow, like whenever I've been apartment hunting or house hunting, have been like professionally taken photos, not just like the landlord walks in and snaps a couple pics with his Nokia from 2007.
Good lighting. Good
lighting. That's a good question. Anything else?
Question. That's the first thing that comes to mind for me.
Okay, cool. Well, then we're going to jump over. Thank you, Nina, for writing in. Carlos H. from Phoenix, Arizona has written in and says, how do you balance investing in real estate while still renting? Do you ever feel pressure to buy a home for yourself first, or are you cool staying renters while building a portfolio? Patrick, tell me about your portfolio.
I don't have a portfolio yet. I am still renting.
Yep.
I would like to one day own multiple properties.
Yeah.
Me personally, I wouldn't want to be renting in a property and then own a property that I rent out. Like I want to first buy my own property to live in, and then after that point, then start renting other properties out. Like maybe buying a duplex, for example.
Yeah. That seems to be the most popular option.
Yeah. Right. Well, what about you?
Yeah, same here. Buying a piece of property isn't really on the horizon for me, at least for the next year. So, when that time comes, maybe looking into the investment aspects of it. I mean, this podcast, if it continues to be a thing, it's certainly motivated me to want to look for options for investment properties as well as personal properties. But the first step for me would be just a place for me to live.
And then the last question, kind of related, from Olivia P. from Chicago. Since you guys are renters, I'm curious, how do you usually handle maintenance issues with your landlord or property manager?
This is an interesting one.
Yeah.
Because I think we're both in interesting situation. So, go ahead.
So my last apartment, I haven't been in like one of those big apartment complexes where there's like a whole system and it's like procedure.
Yep.
Like I've kind of just had landlord phone numbers, and like at my last apartment, the water heater did not work. And it was kind of like I text my landlord and then he just got it fixed within the next couple days, which is a really nice situation to be in. I understand that not everybody is in that situation. That's kind of like where I've been. I don't know about you.
It might be boring to double down, but that's also been my experience, is that the best experience have been the more personal ones. I've been lucky enough to have some like mom and pop landlords that don't really manage like a whole plethora of properties. So I had their direct contact information. It was always reach out directly to the landlord if I needed like assistance with something or if there was something going wrong. In specific cases, they would defer me to like they had a maintenance guy or like a specific person, like an HVAC guy that would like, they'd be like, hey, I just gave you this guy's contact information. Reach out to him, mention my name, and you'll be all set or whatever like that. I've only lived at one apartment. This was back in college where they had a maintenance like website. Wasn't super thrilled with it. Luckily, there's been a lot of advances in that, like property management software out there that you can use. There are lots of property management software out there that offer like really easy maintenance tools. The ones that are really easy, the good to manage, the ones that are available to you now, awesome. The one I had back in the day, totally busted, totally janky. Like you would submit something and never hear anything back, and the landlord was difficult to contact. I often told my roommate, I was like, I think he just has this website set up as like a fake front to like deter tenants from like actually reaching out to him with maintenance requests. Not a great apartment situation. I only lived there for a year, and it was like not a great landlord, not a great situation.
Well, that's probably one of those things that you'd want to get squared away when you sign the lease. Like you gotta know what the procedure would be if in case you ran into a maintenance issue, and how that would probably need to be outlined in the lease agreement. You probably want to make that clear from the onset. Yeah,
for sure. I would love to go back and tell dumb college Zach, be like, hey, this guy might be a little shady. maybe find a different landlord.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Was that it for the listener questions?
Yeah, it looks like we just had those 3.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you
Questions.
all for emailing questions at the Rentish Pod. We love hearing from our readers and listeners and everyone out there. Readers.
Who
I don't know why I keep
reads?
saying that. Hey, I don't know. Who reads? I'm too busy watching White Lotus to read it. All right, well, thank you guys for listening to another episode of the Rentish Podcast. We are very glad that you've decided to join us for the ride. It's been a fun one. We got to talk television, which I think is a fun little change of pace.
Yeah.
Keep subscribing and following us everywhere that you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple, wherever podcasts are served, we can be found. Questions at therentishpod.com if you want to email us your questions or your topic suggestions or anything like that you want to send our way. Just general praise.
Just praise.
No
Yeah.
feedback.
No.
We don't want any feedback. No, I'm just kidding. And thank you guys again. Yeah, give us a rating, a 5-star rating, or review or comment. And
10 stars if that's the format.
Sure, whatever the format is, just max that thing out. And yeah, that's it. So we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Hey, listeners. If managing property finances feels like a full-time job, it's time to check out Ledger.ai. Ledger.ai makes property accounting simple by automating your finances, tracking expenses, and keeping you organized all without the stress. It's like having an accounting pro in your corner so you can focus on growing your portfolio. Visit ledger.ai/podcast today and let them handle the heavy lifting. That's ledgre.ai/podcast.